Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Star and Flurry. I'm Nancy. It's been a busy day, so I'm having a little glass of wine, which tends to be my thing these days when I'm doing a little video. But I just poured it, put a few ice cubes in it to keep it nice and chilled, and watered down just a touch. I'm not obviously not a gourmet wine drinker, um, but I do enjoy it. So, what have I been up to? Well, I went to Newt's. That was fun. It was very fun, except I wasn't feeling all that well, so that was a bummer. And I ended up leaving early because I was just like, I'm just gonna sit up in the hotel room and feel bad about myself and feel bad about not going to more classes and events and whatever. I did get to the psychic marketplace and had a nice chat with Timmy Pie, and I did go to one of the classes the Saturday morning, but it was it's one of those things where it was interactive. Which was fine. I guess not really interactive. It's just a lot of audience input, I guess is the word, which is fine. It's interesting to hear other people's perspectives, but I don't know, it wasn't my thing, and so that was kind of bothersome. But that happens, and I didn't pick the most exciting one to go to. It happened to be one that worked with my time schedule. So, but other than that, I'm looking forward to next year. I may not buy the full pass next year because I'm not sure the classes are really my thing. I think I kind of prefer the interactive learning I'm doing online. Um, it would probably help me. I'm just the introvert in me. I just don't like sitting in a room full of people. It's, I don't like it. So that's just me. Anyways, so I did buy a couple things. I bought this. I know I'm going to make Tammy Pie jealous because I know she had her eye on one of these. I think she got a different one that she really liked, but I love this. I love this drawing. And it's a little tarot pouch. I haven't quite figured out the perfect tarot thing to go in it, so it remains empty at this point. So let's see. I have a couple of. What am I going to do today? I'm going to show you a couple decks. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 decks. And I think, or maybe 8. We'll see how long it goes. We don't want to make it go too long. But I do have a funny story. Okay, so Nancy's story today is, so for the last, I don't know, month, maybe month and a half, every time I go to my garage, it's kind of got this smell, and it was just like, what the hell is that? And it just got kind of progressively worse and worse, and spending a lot of time in the mountains or up at Mount Hood in a cabin that my family owned up there. There were many mouse inundations there, and when they die, there's just a particular order they put out. So I just began to think that's what it was. That some critter has gotten into my garage, couldn't get out, and went ahead and died in there. And I could not figure it out. But it was getting worse and worse. And I kept thinking at some point it's got to stop. At some point it's going to mummify, or the bugs are going to get after it enough to stop it from smelling. But that was not happening. So I was like, what the frick? And so I was down there the other day, and I'm like, God, I need to fix this. And all of a sudden, I'm looking at, I have this, I had on, it's hard to describe my garage, but in my garage, I have an old dining room table that belonged to my parents that I haven't sold yet because I just love the table, but it'll never fit in this house, so I need to sell it. But anyways, there it sits, and it's got, stuff just piling up on it. And one of the things that's on it was this gigantic styrofoam cooler thing. I had ordered some frozen foods, and so it came in this gigantic tub, which I can't put it with my regular garbage, so I have to, when I get them, I kind of save them up and then take them over to the transfer station. When I get a big enough load of stuff to take over there, and so that was sitting there, and I went, and I have a little freezer right there, and I went in there to put something in the freezer, take something out, and I looked at this styrofoam tub, and I go, well, I opened the freezer up, and I was shocked at how tidy it was, and I'm like, oh, I forgot I did this, and then And then, and then I looked at the styrofoam tub on right there, and I was like, "Oh shit!" Sorry, I cleaned out stuff that I was never gonna use in the freezer, just old soups and old stuff that had, freeze dried itself or whatever. And because this tub was right there, I just kind of threw everything in there. I figured I'll just, I'm going to the transfer station soon, so I'll just leave it in there. Well, no, I didn't go soon, and that food all thawed and started to rot. And so that's 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 what, well, not rot, but melted smell. I mean, oh my god. So I was like, oh, Nancy, ah. So I dumped it all in the, because that I could put in the trash. So I put that in the trash, and the smell miraculously went away in minutes. So be warned, if you have downstairs garage fridge or freezer and you cleaned it out someday, be sure to clean it all the way out. Don't just pile stuff in some random box and leave it there, because it'll come back to haunt you. And that's exactly what this did. So yeah. So lesson learned on that. Jeebus, I can't even believe that. And so then the other funny thing is that I lost a fair amount of weight recently, and so I've been trying to find jeans that fit. And my the place that I usually go, because I refuse to pay over $50 for a pair of jeans, because why? I usually go to American Eagle, sometimes Aeropostale, but usually American Eagle, because they have extra short length, small. I'm short, and so I need a shorter length on my jeans. And so I was just having a tough time finding ones that fit. And I was like, what the frick? Why is this, and I kind of complained to the lady at the counter. I said, your sizing has just really changed. Like the extra shorts are even too long for me now. I mean, I used to live religiously in the short jeans, which were always maybe an inch too long, but I kind of like them too long. But these are now like 4 inches too long. So, but I had inadvertently ordered some pair that actually worked. And so I was like, well, yahoo, I'm excited about this. And then, I don't know, I was musing upon it one day and recalled a story, and I may have told this in a previous video, but a long time ago when I was a youthier than I am now. I was probably 17, 18, and complaining to a lady at Nordstrom's or wherever I was that I just could simply not find jeans to fit me. And part of the problem was that petites, back then, if you got petite sizing, they thought that all your proportions went down. So like it was just that every small person had the hourglass figure. It was like, I don't. I'm built like a guy, basically. Just very very straight, no hips, but no waist either, just kind of straight. And so the woman kind of looks at me, and I was just complaining to some sales lady, can I help you? And I'm like, yeah, I can't find a pair of jeans for the life of me. And she said, she kind of looks me up, kind of does these, and this is a woman, this is the sales lady who can pick a dress out of the middle of nowhere and it'll fit you perfect. She knows how to size you up, what your size is, all your proportions, all your dimensions, everything. She's going to figure out exactly what works. And so she's kind of giving me the up and down, and she looks at me, she goes, and then she kind of looks around, she goes, I'm not sure I'm supposed to say this, but have you tried the boys section? And I said, no, I'd never even thought about it. And she goes, that's what I would do. She goes, number one, they size them by waist and by length, so you can really personalize your size. And she goes, and why they don't do that for women, I don't know. But that's what I would do. So I went over to the boys department, ended up with like 26, 29s or something like that. Fit like a glove. And so that's how I bought my pants for like years. And then as I got older, kind of mid-college and past college, I just ended up stealing boyfriend pants. And so, because their jeans fit me perfect. And so I would just end up stealing a pair of theirs. And was kind of what I lived in for years and years. And then somewhere along the way, I got back to trying to fit into women's clothing. So at American Eagle, I decided, you know what, I'm going to try a pair of their men's jeans. So I went, I wish I was still a 26, 29, which I am not. But I was able to go in and get a couple of pairs of men's jeans. Well, actually, no, they didn't have them in my size, so I ordered them. And the shortest length I could get was 30, which is tolerable. 29 is better, but 30 is tolerable. And so I ordered them. They came in, fit me like a glove. And I'm like, so you're not stupid, but why has it taken you 40 some years to remember this? I don't know. It's just, it's astounding to me. Because I already had this information, and somewhere along the way, it just disappeared in my life. I don't know where it went. Anyways, so I ended up ordering 4 pairs. Well, I ordered 1 pair in from American Eagle, and they fit like gloves. So I ordered 3 more, and they all fit like gloves. So now I'm set for jeans, which I'm very excited about. But yeah, so sometimes you just gotta go a different direction if the women's clothes aren't fitting you, ever. So the decks I want to show. So the deck I got at Newt's, which I was kind of excited about, and I got the coolest bag for it. Okay, so let me show you the deck, and then I'll show you the bag. I also bought some other bags. So this is called the California Tarot, and it was. I went into the psychic fair to visit with Tammy Pie, and her reading table is right next to these folks. So as I left her, this was the first booth I stopped at, and I was like, ooh, it colors. So these are the backs, the California poppies, which I just love. And it's really a kind of a California historical deck, and the guidebook is really cool. So, so you read, so while the meanings I think are traditional Rider-Waite, the images are not. I mean, some might be similar, but basically it's so each card represents a person or a place from California history, and it and the guidebook actually spends most of their time talking about what that is or what that person is or what that moment was in time in California. This is one of my favorite cards, Queen of Cups. I love that with the water and the canoe. Actually, I think there's a different name for that, but anyways, and then the mountain in the background and the plains. Oh my God, it's gorgeous. This is another one of my faves, the moon. Oh. Anyways, it's just really, just an interesting deck. The colors are very cool. A lot of them speak to the Hispanic history of that area as well. Yes, I just love it. So I really enjoyed it. The cardstock is pretty good. The guidebook, as I said, is more informative regarding the picture on the card than it is about the meaning of the card. But you know, if you follow tradition, it's the guidebook. If you follow traditional Rider-Waite, so you can see that most of this, that's this is the history. So this is a brief description of the card, then the history of the card, and then these are the meanings. And I think they have light and shadow meanings, they call it. So anyways, I was looking for a very, it came in a nice sturdy box, not a tuck box, a nice sturdy box. But I really wanted something special for it, so I ended up finding this. It has the cactus and the and these to me look like the pop. Can I look like the poppies on it? So I really thought, and it's almost the perfect size. And I added the little red tassel. And this is a bag from, I've had others from Cotton Curls. So Cottn and then curls. And it has the coolest insides too, a little kind of mattress ticking striped. It's and it feels, I don't know, it just feels like a heavy cotton. I don't know if I can get the texture on there. Oh, maybe, yeah, you can see it. So it's very protective of the deck. It has a little bit of bulk to it. It's really nice. And I got, I was so excited that I found them. I have another one that I bought a long time ago at some gift shop somewhere. And I love the size of it, but I just never thought to look at the tag and see if I could see it in, I'm always on the hunt for them, but just wasn't seeing. So I finally did that, and I found a website that actually had some. So I got one with they come with a wristlet thing, but I take that off. But one with a butterfly, and then the psycho cow, the psychedelic cow. So I haven't decided which decks will go in these, but you can never have enough cool bags for your decks. So did that. And then I also bought a ring, which I very much like, at one of the booths. I don't know if I can get it close enough so you can see so it's got kind of that moon face. It's not ivory. It's, what did she call it? I can't even remember now. Some kind of bone. But very plentiful, not hurting anybody. And then a carnelian, which is one of my very favorite stones. And I remember when I saw it, I thought, maybe that's too big. But I just fell in love with it, so I bought it anyway. So, yay. Okay, so new additions to Nancy's family of tarot. I bought the Tarot Renard. I'd been lusting after it for quite a while. These are the backs. And I'm sure most of you are familiar with this deck. It's got the cutest stinking cards ever. What was that? That was the Justice. And 3 of Wands. Knight of Cups. I really love the coloring of this in the Page of, is that the Page of Swords? Yeah, Page of Swords. So they have kind of the icons down here. It's really pretty. The only downside of this deck, and I hesitate to say this, is it came utterly destroyed. Wet. It had obviously been, I thought I brought the box over, but I guess I didn't. What did I do with that? Anyways, I guess I don't have it. But it was just a mess. And so I, of course, contacted the seller immediately. And it was really weird. They wrote back and said, "Yeah, we've had some storage problems. Sorry, and it's too bad you experienced that, and we'll send you another deck." And I was like, "Okay, good." But if you know about this and you have storage problems, it was a mess. I feel like I want to show you that. What did I do with that? I feel like it's right here, but it's not. Oh no, yeah. Oh, it is. I do have it right here. So here's the box. Okay, so this is the box it came in. Looks fine, doesn't it? No. Look at this. Crunched, bowed. Look at the front. And it's just crunched inside. Look at that. Totally separated. That's how it came. And then the deck was just crumpled inside. I don't even know if it would fit in here anymore. It won't. I'm not going to even try. So it was wet. And so, yeah. So, in my opinion, they had more than a storage problem going on. So, and the email, kind of the contact me email that I sent would only allow me to attach one image. So I attached just the one image of the cards, which were just warped and crazy looking. I've set these under a very heavy press, 4 books in a gigantic cement pot, and squished it down for about 4 days, and it's starting to look better. It is going to rain the next couple of days, so I think I'll keep it under there for a little bit longer to see if the cards absorb a little of the moisture in the air and kind of reset themselves. But anyways, so they wrote me back and said, we'll send you another deck. Sorry, kind of said, sorry, we know we've had problems. And so I was like, okay. So I wrote back and added the other pictures because one picture just wasn't doing it justice. And then I actually got a response. And she says, "Oh my God, no, that experienced damage in transit. We are so sorry." Because I was like, well, if you're going to just send me another one with the same storage problems, then I'm not sure I really want it. Let me send this one back to you and just give me my money back. It's not cheap. And, but anyways, then they actually responded appropriately, like, "Oh, no, that's absolutely not what you should have received. And we are sending you a brand new deck. And we'll post it shortly." So that's what I'm waiting on, and I'll report down the road if and when that one arrives and what kind of shape it's in, and I hope it's in decent shape. But so far, I think this one is. I mean, the thing about it right now, it just looks like it's it looks like it's been with me and heavily used for 20 years. Is what it looks like. It just looks well used, but it shuffles for crap. I mean, I think it does anyways, but it's just because it's just gotten wet and then reformed. So it's just this. I don't know. Anyways, I really like the deck, so I hope the new one's better shape, and I will report back when I receive the new deck. I report back the quality of that deck. So, next one, I just received Don Michelle's Sacred Oracle. Is that what it's called? Sacred Threads Oracle. Oh my God. And I got the book. I ordered the book too, and that came first. I haven't really had a chance to explore because the cards are very self-explanatory in my mind, but the book itself actually, she includes some just kind of simple, it's like more keywords for it, more in depth than the keyword on the card, and then just some simple prompts that you could kind of, noodle in your mind, and then there's also a journal page. I should have brought that over so you could look at it. Pardon me, but there's a page. So there's a page that has the card and then the prompts and all that, and then the opposite page is like a journal page that you can write on and stuff. It's really cool. So these are the backs. Just kind of the cosmos, the Milky Way. And I know that Marlon and Teresa has shown this deck off quite a bit, as has Dawn. And it's gorgeous. It deserves a lot of press. It's available at Make Playing Cards. And it can't, isn't that gorgeous? Oh my God. I got that one this morning. I threw it. Are these the 3 cards I got this morning? Yeah, I'm going to leave this out because I got to share that throw with you later. But, isn't it? Oh, they're just really cool. They're very simple. They're interesting keywords. I don't want to say typical Oracle, but you know what I mean? But these are not ones where you read them and go, what? I mean, I love this one, the encounter with the UFO and the Yeti. Yeah. Encounter. Entangle. Oh, look at those. God, you just want to eat them up. But the whole deck is like this. It's just really, really special and gorgeous and magic. It's magical. So I cannot recommend it more highly. I've used it every day since I've got it, and I just love it. So the Sacred Oracle, the Sacred Threads Oracle by Dawn Michelle, and I'm still using the Sovereign Oracle quite a bit because I just love the keywords and the meanings that one shares with you as well. So highly recommend. Cheers. Okay, next. So I'll get to this one. So Garden Goddess Thea at Garden Goddess Tarot did a walkthrough of this deck, and now I can't even remember what the name of it is. Mind's Eye Tarot or something like that. Do I even have I don't even know. I'll list it down below. And she was showing it. It got about halfway through. I said, I want this deck. I need this deck. So I ordered it. I literally ordered it on the fly. And then about 2/3 in, she really hated it. I mean, she was just like, I don't get this. Go watch her video. It's really good. And it gives you a really in-depth look at these cards. But I love it. Now, let me say this. I got the deck. Let me show it to you. I'll talk and show while we go. Very cool backs. Kind of okay. It's not bad gilding. It's not the stuff that flakes off in your hands. So we appreciate that. It's not, I was going to say, it's got little pieces of Rider-Waite in it, but it's certainly doesn't follow it strongly. And I think that may have been Thea's problem, although I think, some of her decks are so eclectic. So I'll have to go back and look at it because I don't know I'm not quite sure why she disliked it. It may have just been the art style. There was a couple, like the Knight of Swords and the Knight of something that she really liked. I really like it. It's very, if I can get close enough, it's kind of a fine line drawing. I usually don't like busy decks like this, but I just really like it. And so far, we're working at getting along. Like, I love the Ten of Wands. Look at that. Oh my gosh. Gorgeous. Death. Beautiful. These are just really pretty cards, in my opinion. I'm sitting here thinking, why do I hear like, what is that noise? I think it's raining really hard outside. It just doesn't rain here that much, so it's like, what is that? Anyways, so I'll link this down. Well, I can't remember what it was called, and I don't know where the box is. But anyways, yeah, the my something, I don't know. Anyways, I really like it. Oh, but so I had one of those moments, not moment. I literally every card I pulled for the interview I did was like Ten of Swords, Death, Tower, which I made mention of before, pretty typical. So I said, okay, fine, we'll give it a rest, give it a cut. Seven of Swords, Five of Swords. What other horrible cards are there? Just, think of just the cards that just are just, ugh. And that's all it would do. And fine, okay. So I pulled out, as I've mentioned from the last video, my big gun and my, I hope I didn't break it. My quartz, I don't know what this is called. It's just a quartz tower of some kind. Laid those on there for a couple of days and just let it sit there, mind its own business, and kind of get used. And I smudged it even. I even dug out my, is it juniper, cedar something, and smudged it. And then I laid those crystals on it and said, cleanse away. And then I did a reading this morning, and it was much nicer. And an interview much nicer. So I was like, okay. But I feel like it's like a deck that I've had to put a leash on or a muzzle. Not a muzzle to keep it from talking, but just kind of like bad boy, bad girl. This is really funny, kind of treating it like an animal that is not behaving appropriately. And so that's what I felt like I had to do. And now what it feels like to me, it's like, where's my treat? I'll give you a decent reading if you give me a treat. I haven't quite figured out what that treat is, and it might just be good vibes and lots of crystals and obsidian and whatever else is going to help it relax. But anyway, so we're kind of, it feels like a puppy. It's like a deck of a puppy. The puppy deck. And it hasn't learned it doesn't have any manners, and it hasn't learned how to play well with others. I don't think it's house trained very well, so I have my work cut out for me. But that's okay. I'm willing to accept that job. But I've just never felt that way about a deck before. There's other decks that I don't get along with, but then it's just, I don't get along with you. I just don't. This one, I don't feel that way about it. I feel like I can get along with it if it would just grow up a little bit. So that's where we're at with him. Him or her, I haven't quite figured that out. So, so let me get to this one, because this is one that's been on the radar, on my radar for a long time, and I know that a lot of people have talked about this deck for a long time, the Good Tarot. And I will tell you, my only, and probably the only reason I didn't order it for a very long time is it's the size of an oracle, and my hands are really small, so this is like, it's really big. But I love the back. Oh, can you see me? Hello. The backs are gorgeous, that gorgeous JD green. And the images, and I'm going to pull these three out too, because I want to show you this. The images are just, they're lovely. I can't get enough of them. Every time, it's funny because I don't pull them out that often. I'm trying to get it so I don't get the reflection. Sorry. But I always, what was I just saying? So I don't think about using it. I think because it's particularly annoying to handle. But when I do finally pull it out and manage a shuffle, I'm so glad that I did. I absolutely adore the images. I just think they're so dreamy, is the best way I can say it. And it's not a harsh deck. It's not a hug deck, but it's not harsh in any way. It's just really lovely. And again, I'm not quite sure what took me so long to embrace this deck, but I really, really like it. And so I'm excited it's part of the gang here. And I did a poll this morning, which let me recreate it for you because it was pretty special. I shared it on Instagram. I'm Star Employer Tarot on Instagram if any of you want to join in. I don't post a lot, but I post a few. But let me set this throw for you up that I did this morning so you can take a look at it. No, that went there. And that went there, that went there. So can I get... So the, I don't know if it's in... So it was the Fool, the World, and Transformation. And the Sacred Threads Oracle under the Fool was Perception, under the World was Resistance, and under Transformation was Hope. And I think I wasn't asking a specific question, but to me, this was obviously speaking to the situation going on in Israel and Palestine. Or at least in my mind it was. And I'm holding out for this. You know, I don't know what to say about that. I don't know enough to speak knowledgeably about that whole thing there. I just know it's not good. So I'm just hoping, I really hope that you know, that this is that we have hope and transformation in that neck of the woods. I really hope that we do. As I said, I'm not familiar enough with it over there to speak knowledgeably about it in any way, so I won't. But all I know is that people are dying, people are hurt. And being attacked, in my mind, senselessly, and that it just needs to stop. So, who knows what will happen there. Anyway, so that I just thought, I was very moved by that reading, and I was very, I guess, thankful for it. It kind of put stuff in perspective for me a little bit. So moving on, I don't know who recommended this to me. It may have been Simon over at the Hermit's Cave, who showed it once. I'm not sure. It's called the Oracle of Avalon, and this one was kind of hiding in the back in the dark for a while, and I finally pulled it out, and I absolutely love it. These are the backs, gorgeous. The cardstock is to die for on this thing, and so it's just really simple, but I like that it has kind of so much, you know, the kiss, endearment secured, a promise sealed. Now some people might think that's too many words, but I like that. And it's kind of got this parchment background. But I like that. Look at the little watch. I just love it. Partnership, comrade, thriving friendship, companionship. Celebration. I love the candles. Dead eye. Oh, beady eye. Sorry, I misread that. Furtive observation. It's kind of got a fall vibe to it too. I love it. I think it's just because of the kind of the parchment-like background, but also the fall-like colors. But it's absolutely gorgeous. It's called the Oracle of Avalon. Love it. So, who is this by? I haven't been seeing it. I'll list these down below. So there's 60 stunning gilded oracle cards to use standing alone or as a companion to Ask the Tarot and Tarot. Maybe I don't know if there's a companion deck or what. The inside of the box is really cool too. It's a lovely deck, lovely presentation. I'm not sure where I got this, probably Etsy. But jumbly hands. Highly recommend. Then I was inspired by Toadstool Tarot, which I often am. I mention him a lot. On getting a deck. It was a black and white deck that was really kind of pen and ink, really cool. And so I was drawn to this Etsy page, this Etsy store front or whatever, and got very attracted by a couple of other of their decks, which I received today. So I haven't had a lot of time to go through them. So they come in the same kind of boxes. So the boxes are not stylized to the deck. They are just boxes, but they're okay boxes, you know, with the magnetic closure. And they both come with the same, oh, I feel sneeze coming on, sorry. The same very little white book. They're not, this one specifically, they just call it a Japanese style tarot deck. So these are the backs, which I adore. I think they're really cool. And these images are like Japanese ink and I guess a little bit of watercolor. They're not RWS at all. So you got to bring that knowledge with you. There's a little nod here and there, but not enough to concentrate on. Like there's absolutely no cups in the Four of Cups. Six of Coins. But I think the artwork on this deck is pretty exceptional. So maybe it's kind of more like an art deck. Now, the interesting thing about this, I love that I can show these without a bothersome reflection. So obviously it's a very matte finish. It's a decent cardstock. And when you're going through them, oh God, look at this one. Ten of Wands. When they do color, they're really pretty. Like this is the Tower. Five of Wands. So the cardstock is a little bit sticky. It doesn't move. It's not a slippy deck by any stretch. And so I was a little bit concerned about how it would shuffle, and it just shuffles beautifully. You know, I don't think it's going to hold up for lifetimes. Isn't that gorgeous? Like they're not sticking together. My fingers can't seem to separate them. Arrgh. Seven of Swords. Isn't that pretty? Oh my God. Sun. So anyways, I'll leave the link down below for this if you're interested. But it really is, it's kind of more, I would call this more an art deck than anything else. But I did a quick 3-card interview with it, and it was quite pleasant to me, quite nice to me. And I thought, okay, I'll give you a shot. And then this next one I've had my eye on forever from the same web company. So same box, same little black book, and they do get, or white book, and they give you you get an extra card with the logo that is also on the box. Is it on the inside too? No. So it's on the outside, and then these are not the backs of this deck. This is just kind of like a title card. But it does give you a thank you for your order, and then you can scan the QR code to access a free tarot card cleansing guide. The website is, I'm not even going to, here, I'll just put it up here if you want to take a look. So it's Shimlatel, S-H-I-M, Shimiltai, S-H-I-M-I-L-T-E-L.com. Sorry, T-E-I.com. So Shimiltai. I don't know. But like I said, I'll put a link down below. But anyways, I had my eye on this deck for a while, and I was just sure that I was all enamored with the color of it and that it was not going to look that way when I got it. You know how sometimes you'll look at a walkthrough or something and somebody's lighting is just perfect and the deck is really vibrant and you're just like, yeah, I want that. And then you get it or you see it in real life at your local metaphysical store and it's dulled out. It's just not that. And so that's why I avoided this deck for that reason. I just thought there's no way it looks like that. Well, I stand corrected. It looks exactly like this. And I don't know how well my camera will capture it. But these are the backs. And it's, I don't know, it's called this. I don't know what it's called. But the colors, and I don't know if my camera is going to, because it's kind of dark in here right now, if the camera's going to really do it justice. But if you go to the website and look at these cards, the pictures he has, they're very true to what they are. And again, this is very, there are nods to, what's that, the 6 of coins. There are nods to RWS in this, but you still have to kind of have some knowledge base behind you in order to, I think, really get a decent reading from this deck. But I mean, there's 2 cups on this card, but there's frequent cup cards that don't have any cups on them. So once again, that whole thing, 3 of coins. 4 of wands. It's almost like really, you know, kind of arty stained glass. 8 of wands. I think that Toadstool Tarot did a walkthrough of one that's almost kind of Dolly-like. It's not Dolly, but it's kind of like that surrealistic kind of stuff. It's very cool. And I think that's where I got intrigued by this. I think that's how I ended up on this website. It's the Ten of Swords, which I think is very cool, actually. That's a scary card. So here's the 3 of Cups with no cups. So, or maybe they're in there and I just am not seeing them, but I don't think they are. Page of Wands. Some people, but not. This is not a heavy peoply deck. More shadowy than anything else. Not a horrible 3 of Swords. It's actually really beautiful. Ace of Cups. I love the Hermit card a lot. So, anyways, this is a very cool deck, and I can't wait to work with it. I did a brief interview with all of these, and they were all very kind. And so I'm really looking forward to using these decks more. So that's my haul. That's my new decks in the house. Most of us are getting along. Some of us are still learning how to play nice with others. But I think I have all the good feelings in the world that one deck and I are gonna find a way to work with each other. I hope. Anyways, I hope you all are having a great day, and I hope you have a great tomorrow. Okay, talk to you later. Star and Flurry out.